Well, that's kind of unexpected. The door is aluminum. What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new, very exciting episode from Backyard Boys. If you guys are new to this channel, lightly tap the subscribe button. If you guys enjoy my content, smash that like button to show your support. And in this episode, we are going to be working on the GTR. We are very, very close to getting this thing painted and basically finished with all the episodes in the vehicle. I wanted to show you guys quickly the interior. Look at this, boom, fully assembled. Everything to the interior is done, like I said, besides this door panel. But in this episode, we are going to be doing body work. That is the last part to getting this car painted. All the gaps are set, everything is cut in, everything is ready. We're super excited. This car is just about done. We took it for a rip. Thing is just insane fast. A lot of people are commenting, does the front wheel drive system not work? Everything works, guys. The car is just mental fast. That's it. Like, it peels all four, just like if it was just rear wheel drive, I would feel the rear wheel, but this, it just hauls the car. Like, it's, the feeling is just, you can't replicate it. Like, you can't say it in words. You just got to be in the car and understand. Right now what we're going to do is I have a little auto marker here. I'm going to go ahead and mark all the spots that need body work. The reason why is when you start sanding, things get, you know, dirty, messy. You forget areas that either have damage, or you know, you just can't see them once they're matte and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is go ahead and walk around the panels that are going to be painted. We're going to mark them, and then we're going to go ahead and start knocking things down, hitting things out. We do got to repair this whole wheel arc over here. I guess let's get right into it. There's not much more to be said. This quarter panel, we replaced it, but it's still pretty darn bad condition. We had a very tough time taking it off the donor, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. There's some funny here going on. Trying to make sure I'm looking at everything, making sure that everything is flat. Here, that should probably block out. It's not too bad. It's not right there. So obviously what we try to do is minimize the body work and minimize the body filler amount on any panel. So we try to get as flat as we can prior to doing any kind of filling in. So we're gonna get a little clip tool up inside here and see how much we can push this out, because I think this fender is aluminum. And it's very, very soft. I barely put any pressure on it. It's already coming out a lot. Let's see if I can massage it a little more, and we can get it good enough. Dude, that's came out a lot. If this gets good enough, we basically don't even need body filler. This piece over here basically got all of it out. Does have a little bit of pointy stuff, but it's gonna block right out. It's just in the paint, it's very minor. So no body filler here. The other fender is gonna need maybe just the slightest amount of glaze, but besides that, this is right here the more, I would say, serious damage. We have kind of the door is buckled in, I'm guessing from the impact here. The door kind of twisted like this, but not too shabby. This gap may be a little bit off when we fix this, which we're gonna go ahead and realign the gap once we're done. But let's go ahead and knock this down to bare metal. That way I can grab on with a spot puller I got. So we're gonna need this body line. We're gonna need that body line, and then we're gonna need some more, find some more low spots. We got a low spot here. All right, well, we're gonna start off with these two spots because that's the lowest and lowest spots right there. We're gonna work with it and see what it does, but right now let's go ahead and knock down all the metal all the spots, all the dents to metal on the quarter panel. That way we can do the same exact thing that we're doing on the fender or on the door as on the quarter panel. Since the quarter panel is pretty darn bad, we're gonna need to spot pull a couple of dents out, make sure it's nice and neat. Like I quoted before, we're trying to use the least amount of body filler that we can. Well, here we go, boys. We got a feel, and let's do this little spot first. That fat dent. Well, that's kind of unexpected. The door is aluminum. Nice. Let me tell you guys why I thought it was regular steel. Because this door is freaking heavy. We were putting on that door and it's heavy, like heavy. Compared to the M6 door, this thing's like a boat. It's kind of unfortunate. Look at that. My magnet doesn't even touch it. I guess we're gonna have to take the door panel off and hit it from the inside, get this out, and get it ready for body filler. guys have it. Woo! Got that panel off. Let's go ahead and work from the inside now. Let's pop out all this damage, get it mudded out. I think we're gonna leave the panel off because we still gotta remove the mirror, the handle, and the belt molding to get it painted. So probably leave the door panel here at the house for a little bit. Let me get inside here. I gotta cut out some of this here. Oh, this stuff is so nasty and sticky. This I hate this. The GTR one. Oh, this stuff is just so bad. Since this door here is aluminum, it's way harder and it's taking more time. And we ran into a little issue. We got this part here sectioned out, you know, knocked out decent enough to a point where we can just body fill this and it should be perfect. This though, we're having a little issue, and you guys can see that it's tin canning. It's going this way or that way. That means it's stretched metal, and I want to show you guys, come up close. I'm gonna use a torch and I want to show you guys how this will pop out without actually touching it, just heating it up. So as you guys can see right there, it pops right out, meaning that the stretched metal, it doesn't have a center position. It's either deep in or a bump out. So right now it's a bump out, it's a little bit warm. What we're gonna do is go ahead and put a dolly inside there. I'm gonna heat it up about 5-7 seconds with a torch, just kind of circling around. It's really hard to actually see how long, well, it's hard to estimate perfectly how long you need to heat up this aluminum, because aluminum does not show any signs of it being warmed up. So we just kind of count 5 seconds, give it a quick 5-second count. You know, it's better to do that than burn a hole through it. Hold the dolly inside, give it a good couple second count, heat it up, smack it 3-4 times. Right here we got a wet piece of, oh, look at this cloth, and we got ice in there. Make sure it's all super cold, and then just right away, and it sinks it a little bit. Exactly what I did with the Rolls Royce doors. This should be pretty simple because we already got experience from those doors. So here's what we're talking about now. One. Get right there, and then quick one right there, and let me just shrink the sucker you can pull out. We have a crow farm here. Thank you guys. Respect the fact that I'm recording right now. Anyways, so This door was a pain in the butt. Like, I'm not even gonna lie about it. We got it done though. This is pretty good. This is really firm. Everywhere is just, it's good. Like, it's solid, it's flat, it's nice. Body line still looks good, or sorry, the gap still looks good. This is all prepped out. We do have a minor dent right there, tiny bit of glaze. We're gonna go ahead and body fill all this stuff tomorrow. It's about 6 o'clock right now. We're done for the day. Other side is all prepped out as well. What we're gonna do is go ahead and put the body filler on that. I'm gonna actually lift the car in the air, take the wheel off, put the body filler on that, and then seam seal inside there. I didn't want to seam seal prior to putting the body filler on because the seam sealer actually sticks the two basically seams together inside there, and when I was using my spot puller, I didn't want it to crack into the seam sealer or anything like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but we're done for the day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Next morning here, and basically everything's ready. Like I said last night, what we're gonna do is wipe it down with some alcohol prep, waterborne right here, this stuff. Just that way we don't have any kind of oils or anything like that where we put the body filler, so it'll stick nice and easy as well, and whatever fell in it overnight, so it'd be cleaned off as well. So let's go ahead and soak this thing in. We're gonna wipe everything down. I think I'm gonna do one section on the quarter panel because since there's a lot of, you know, areas of mudding, and then I'm gonna mix up another batch and do the rest of the stuff. So it'll be pretty straightforward. As you guys can see right here, look, see that dent? Circled it a little bit off, but I knew it was something funny here. It's right over there. Well, we got all the mudding done in one round. I thought I was gonna do two, but it's pretty straightforward and easy. Got this one all mudded out. As you guys can see, that's basically all the damage to the quarter panel. It wasn't really that bad. It's just kind of funny and wavy in some spots. So we're gonna get all this stuff blocked out. The fender here is, I didn't really need to do this, but I did it just in case. It's gonna get primed, sealed, and painted right on top, and it'll be perfect. Other side here, the door, I might need to re-glaze it. Well, I might need to glaze it alongside with the quarter panel just to get all the scratches and pin stuff out of there, little pin holes and stuff like that. But that's kind of what the door looks like. Not much body filler anywhere. Pretty straightforward. So we're gonna go ahead and wait for this stuff to cure out, and then get our block, get an 80 grit on a block, and start knocking down, making everything nice and flat. I'll tell you guys one little mistake a lot of people do is they grab a block and they grab too high of a grit. For example, they'll start with a 180, they'll start with a 240, they'll start with a 320. And what that's doing is, if you have like a mountain, for example, you have, you know, a high spot of Bondo, you're just smoothing that out. Rather than cutting it with an 80 grit, you're smoothing that out. So that's a little tip of the day for you guys. So we got this bottom section of the quarter panel roughened out. It feels pretty good. Now what we got to do is knock down this top part, and the way we're going to do that is actually draw the body line. So we're going to grab a pencil, find the high spot on this body line, and then we're just going to trace it all the way down. Although I just felt something, a little high spot right here, which can be knocked down. It'll be knocked down once we draw this body line and get everything done. So find the high spot on the body line, and then I just walk. So I just walk the arc. As you guys can see, it's hitting all the high spots right there. See? Except for this kind of jagged, so it's hurting my finger, but it's all good. Let's continue. Hitting all the, like that. And then here, kind of have to find this. Here we can use a tool because I can't really arc this, it's gonna get smaller, but we can see the high spot. There was no damage here, so this is kind of easy over there. We can just knock down the body filler on the top edge, and it should show us exactly where that arc is. But as you guys can see, it's all nice and even all throughout, except for right here, it kind of fell in there. So we're gonna fix that up right now. This goes like that, right there. So that should be right there. And also we didn't have any damage here, so we're not really gonna shape the body line down there. Now what we gotta do is put some thin tape on the bottom of this line and then block the whole top section here. We should be able to get this bodywork perfect. Once we're done with that, we're gonna put the thin tape on the top and then block this bottom section. That way we're not touching this body line. So let's get it. So this wheel arc here is now perfectly shaped, and I don't like to touch this last part until I'm ready for primer, and I hit it very soft, depending on how sharp this edge is. I like to touch it very last because I don't want to mess with it. I can feel the body line right in here. We just had a little missing body line here due to some damage. This is all nice and flat. Ooh, this all feels really good. It does need a little bit of glaze. Make sure it's all nice and neat, cover up all the pinholes and scratches. Let's go ahead and blow all this stuff out. Make sure we get all the body filler, loose body filler out of every pinhole, and then mix up some glaze and get that glaze on the vehicle. And technically we're ready for primer right after that. Let's do it. Now getting it prepped for seam sealer. I did tell you guys I was gonna seam seal this after the bodywork was done. The reason for that is because when you're hitting it out, the two pieces, I don't want to crack the seam sealer, basically repairing this arc. Now that it's repaired, I can seam seal it. It's gonna be one place, it's not gonna be moved or altered with, so. All right, so we don't have too much seam sealer. That's it, huh? Will that be enough or no? Maybe. So it is the next day here. We went ahead and picked up some finishing glaze here from our local auto body supply store. We got some overspray protective sheeting, some clear plastic right here. Basically cover the car once we are ready to prime it. Right now what we're gonna do is go ahead and glaze all the bodywork and finish up, you know, all the deep scratches, any pinholes, cover all that stuff up. We're not gonna take too much time on it because, well, I'm saying like video wise, because it's basically the same exact procedure as doing the body filler. So the glaze is just getting everything perfected, everything smooth, that way we can prime it. So let's get right onto it. We got 400 grit on here on a soft pad just to get the scratches out of the metal, not really the bodywork. I'm gonna hover over the bodywork, but try to get the deep scratches out the metal. And then we're gonna run all the panels that we're gonna prime with this. I think the quarter panel we're gonna prime up to here or up to here down because there's nothing up here. And then maybe we might even prime the whole thing, I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. Just gotta make sure it's all perfect, feel it out, make sure there's no deep scratches, get the primer cooked up and get it done. You guys see these scratches here? I went ahead and hit it lightly, but those right there will probably see through primer, and those are not that deep. We can get it out with the 400 and not ruin any of the bodywork or any of this panel, not warp it. Since it's a soft pad, we're gonna make it nice and even. Once we prime it, block it, it'll be perfect. So take a look right there, and then a couple of seconds. Right there, for example, they're basically all gone. That's what we want it to look like. We wanna make sure that we're doing less knick-knacking after the primer is done. We don't really like to rely on the next step. For example, you don't want to rely the body filler on the glaze. You don't want to rely the primer on the bad body filler, stuff like that. You want to make everything perfect. That way the result is perfect at the very end. Look how much random sprays it has. A real gun is better, you know? Well, there you guys have it. Went ahead and primed everything out. I'm so pumped, guys. I'm so excited. This has been just a long journey with this car, and we finally got it ready for paint. Next episode, we're gonna get this thing painted. It's gonna be super exciting. Let's go take a look at this quarter panel real quickly. I went ahead and put some guide coat on it. That way when I'm blocking it, I can see the low spots, high spots. and stuff like that. Besides that, bodywork actually looks really darn good. I told you guys earlier in the episode I like to leave my body lines sharp, and then I'll mellow them out with the primer. That way, you know, if your body line is too mellow, you got to add some glaze. So I left them a little bit sharper than they should be, but you got to realize that after this goes sealer, base, 2 coats of mid coat, which is pearl, and then clear. So with all that kind of buildup, the body lines get mellower as we go. So let's go ahead and go on the other side of the vehicle. So here's the door and the fender. So they look really good. When I primed it, I looked at it when it was still wet. It looked like it was all nice and flat. But guys, that is gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and staying till the very end. In the next video, we are gonna be showing you guys the M6. We already did some work on the car, so stay tuned for that. Also, I did drop a video on my Garage Rebels page, so be sure to check that out. It's gonna be both the links down below. Link to some merch if you guys want to support me, and link to my Garage Rebels channel. And I also do have Instagram. It's BYB Tim, so don't forget to follow me there. Peace out.